Welcome back to another episode of The Daily Threat, your trusted source for the latest cybersecurity news and analysis. Today we have an action-packed episode with some alarming stories that highlight the evolving threat landscape. So, grab your coffee and let's dive right in. Our first story comes from TechCrunch, where we learn about a series of high-profile cyber attacks targeting organizations using Microsoft's CLOP and MOVEit. These attacks have left victims scrambling to recover and assess the extent of the damage. But how did the attackers manage to breach these systems? According to the reports, the attackers employed various techniques to gain unauthorized access. One common method involved the use of phishing emails. The attackers sent carefully crafted emails, disguised as legitimate communication, to employees within the target organizations. These emails often contained malicious attachments or links that, once opened, allowed the attackers to infiltrate the victim's systems. Once inside, the attackers exploited vulnerabilities in Microsoft's CLOP and MOVEit software to gain further access and maintain persistence within the compromised networks. This gave them the ability to exfiltrate sensitive data, encrypt files for ransom, or even launch additional attacks against other systems within the victim's networks. The risks posed by these attacks are significant. First and foremost, the compromise of sensitive data can lead to severe financial and reputational damage for the affected organizations. Moreover, the attacker's ability to encrypt files and demand ransom payments puts victims in an extremely vulnerable position. This highlights the importance of robust cybersecurity measures to mitigate such risks. So, what can organizations do to protect themselves? Here are some best practices and recommendations. Employee training: educate your employees about the dangers of phishing attacks and how to identify suspicious emails. Implement regular training sessions to ensure everyone is aware of the latest social engineering techniques. Multi-factor authentication (MFA). Enable MFA for all user accounts, including those accessing Microsoft's CLOP and MOVEit. MFA adds an extra layer of security by requiring users to provide multiple factors, such as a password and a unique verification code sent to their mobile device, to access their accounts. Patch management: regularly update and patch all software and systems, including Microsoft's CLOP and MOVEit. Keep an eye on security advisories and apply patches promptly to address known vulnerabilities. Network segmentation: implement network segmentation to restrict lateral movement within your network. By separating critical systems from less secure ones, you can limit the potential impact of a successful breach. Remember, it's crucial to stay vigilant and proactive in the face of evolving cyber threats. Now, let's move on to our next story. In a recent report by Bleeping Computer, a new tool has been developed to scan iPhones for triangulation malware infections. Triangulation malware is a sophisticated form of malware that can track a device's location by leveraging triangulation techniques using cellular towers. This type of malware can pose significant risks to individuals and organizations alike. The tool, developed by a cybersecurity researcher, scans iPhones for signs of triangulation malware infections. It analyzes system logs, network connections, and other indicators to detect any suspicious activity that may indicate the presence of such malware. This tool is a valuable addition to the arsenal of security professionals and individuals concerned about their privacy. The risks associated with triangulation malware infections are substantial. Cybercriminals can exploit this malware to track individuals, monitor their movements, and even gather sensitive information about their daily routines. This poses a serious threat to personal privacy and potentially enables targeted attacks against individuals or organizations. To protect against triangulation malware and similar threats, here are a few recommendations. Keep your devices updated. Regularly install the latest iOS updates on your iPhone. These updates often include security patches that address known vulnerabilities. Install a reputable security app. Consider using a trusted security app that can detect and mitigate potential threats. These apps can provide an extra layer of defense against malware and other malicious activities. Be cautious with app permissions. Pay close attention to the permissions requested by apps during installation. Avoid granting unnecessary access to sensitive data, such as location information, unless it is essential for the app's functionality. Regularly review app permissions. Periodically review the permissions granted to installed apps. Revoke permissions for apps that no longer require access to certain features or data. Moving on to our final story, Forbes brings us an insightful article highlighting 3 critical steps to take before hiring a cybersecurity company. With the increasing complexity of cyber threats, organizations must carefully evaluate and select the right cybersecurity partner to protect their sensitive information. The article emphasizes the following key steps. Define your cybersecurity needs. Before engaging with a cybersecurity company, assess your organization's unique requirements. Identify the areas of vulnerability and prioritize the cybersecurity services needed to address those vulnerabilities effectively. Conduct thorough research. Take the time to research and evaluate potential cybersecurity companies. Look for reputable providers with a proven track record, certifications, and positive customer testimonials. Consider their expertise in your industry and the specific services they offer. Request proposals and evaluate responses. Once you have a short list of potential cybersecurity partners, request detailed proposals. Evaluate the responses based on their understanding of your needs, proposed strategies, and pricing. Consider arranging meetings or interviews to further assess their capabilities. By following these steps, organizations can make informed decisions when selecting a cybersecurity company, ensuring they receive the best possible protection against cyber threats. That concludes today's episode of The Daily Threat, where we delved into some critical cybersecurity stories that underscore the ever-present dangers organizations face. Remember to stay informed and implement the recommended best practices to safeguard your systems and data. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay safe.